Why? The Last Man.
Why?
Why The Last Man? Good question.
I've heard of this comic. I've not.
Yeah,
read
I've never
it,
read the comic.
but
I like-
everyone says it's good.
Brian K. Vaughan.
It's
Yeah.
controversial.
He did a
apparently.
Swamp Thing series that I liked. I read that.
He did Saga, right, too.
And I never
which
read
is
that.
really good. Saga's
Yeah.
great.
But,
You should totally read Saga.
Well, and also I recently saw an interview about this
That would
show.
make
They're
a good
talking
show.
about
They
it.
should
Maybe it
make
was
a
on
show of
TikTok or somebody's talking about that was looking for the series. She's like a comic book fan on there, and she was talking about how it is interesting how the show, the comic was the premise of this is that he's the last man alive on Earth after this genetic thing happens, but
why
or whatever happens.
Y
so it's a
chromosome.
Y
thing.
chromosome,
Yeah.
yeah. But also, he wrote this back towards like 2000, closer to 2000 than now, like 2005 or something. What is it, maybe? And now society's changed a little bit for gender views and other things. Like, it's like, how does this kind of, because the show has non-binary people and stuff in it. So what does that do to this whole? So it's like, it is interesting making this show, like see how the show will turn out in today's, because it's like that one is so based on a different.
That's
and he's
funny,
even
like,
gone on to like
just to let you guys know, 30 years ago, it was written by a dude. Like, okay,
Yeah.
say no
well,
more.
and he's now
it's
much
written
more
in
like
the idea that-
in his modern stuff is way more like inclusive and stuff too. But it's like this is just the world didn't have these weren't things talked about in mainstream stuff back then. So it'd be interesting to see how they adapt when that's the premise of the show. It's like really gendered, kind of interesting. So we'll
It's the
see.
difference between sex and gender, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's
right.
that-
we're
there's
talking
that
about
already.
the biological Y chromosome is
Right.
why people are dying. I don't know why he wouldn't, and why everyone else does. I don't know how that works, but
All right, ready?
We'll see what his take on it is.
We'll see what it is right now.
this is before they die.
Do they all just die all at
Almost.
once?
I don't know.
Get rid of the dudes.
And
The Pentagon's
I like
gonna
it.
be empty,
Meanwhile,
that's
it's
for
the
sure.
Pentagon. I do like a story that starts there.
Oh god.
Oh, they do die all at once.
Oh Lord, how weird.
They turn to blood masses.
Oh, man.
It seems like to me this would be a more interesting story if all the men died and it was just the story of the women and what they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, why have one left?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's also the thing to address too. It's like, it's not some kind of male savior,
Man, you'd think airplanes would be falling out of the sky.
Because of all the men that fly them.
I'm just
There'd be
saying.
a lot less reactionary YouTube channels too, though.
If
brother.
50% of everyone
Yeah,
disappeared,
the comment section would greatly improve.
Somewhere the answer
Stop hearing about rights and stuff.
how we fix it.
so this is kind of just a post-apocalyptic thing.
You're reproductively interesting.
Wow. Okay.
I've never seen him before.
People are gonna have
It was
to
a
fix
comic
this.
book. You don't have to say graphic
They
novel.
are hungry.
Sequential art.
It came out in monthlies.
Sequential art.
It was sequential art, but
I
it
know,
wasn't
that's
a
what they always
graphic
go-
novel. It was comics.
That's what they call the degree there.
They're making it look like an action movie. I don't think that's what it was.
Well, it's the last man, so he's gonna keep it going.
Yeah, he's like, the violence continues because
Yeah,
I'm here.
really, I got to keep that torch burning.
It's like, we thought we were going to have a paradise, but there's one dude left destroying
Nope,
everything.
One man.
So it's
just
sort of,
wrecking everywhere.
outside of the specifics of like what's happening and why, it's sort of like a Children of Men sort of concept where it's like
Very much so. It looks
Just like
exactly
a rare,
like that.
This is a rare commodity, and this person is a rare
Except
commodity.
in this, it
some
looks
people
like-
want to kill him, some people don't. Basically,
But
like
then,
that.
like, and then I'm not a science guy necessarily, but we do
the
possess the
line.
technology for cloning. Like, if you really just couldn't you figure out a way to perpetuate?
I mean,
the
it depends.
species on
well, I don't know.
You'd
If that's
have to
the
clone
issue, though,
him.
right?
Right? You'd have to clone him because all the other Y chromosome people are tainted with whatever it is.
I don't know. I don't
It's
know
like
where-
Walking Dead too. They apparently it's just a virus or whatever that's in everyone already. But
It
I
seemed
mean,
like
if
that
you're
would be-
worried about like what happened to the species, like, well, don't we have sperm banks? I mean, there's got to be
That's
tons
what
of
that's
that
what I'm
stuff.
talking about. There's got to be lots of, and if
Yeah.
you can clone a whole human, surely you can clone. Like we can clone embryos.
That's true. We have
surely
probably
we can
way more.
replicate. Like
Well, we probably
you
have way
know,
more stored sperm banks and
seed.
embryos in the world than for a while. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But are they tainted with the whatever made the Y chromosome bad? That's
Hey, it might be like Walking Dead. They're
Who
already
knows?
infected.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense that everyone in the world with a Y chromosome would suddenly
But is that
die.
the premise of it? Like people want to find out why he? I guess it's like, yeah, that's interesting. I guess. I mean,
I don't know. I haven't read it.
Yeah.
Now I want to read it.
I'll watch
maybe
the
I'll
show.
start.
well, that's why it's interesting. If like from because I think he's a pretty like, much
He
more
seemed a
progressive
little
guy
goofy
now.
to me in the show in the trailer. He's like, really?
No, I'm not talking about the guy. I'm talking
This
about
should be a
I'm
much
not-
more
dude.
serious situation.
I'm talking about Brian
Yeah.
K. Vaughan because
Oh,
the
yeah.
premise of this comic, you can see how it's like a popular comic because it's sort of like a male fantasy, like, oh, I'm the last dude on Earth, I'm the action star,
Well,
and
that's
everybody's
certainly
trying
not,
to like.
not what I would want to see the show be.
Well, I know, and that's why it's like, but that's why I brought up. It's interesting that like there's been so long in development because this is going to be a movie at some point. You know, like Dan Trachtenberg was going to direct like a movie version of this. Other people are going to do different versions of it, but now it's coming out in a much different
It's
time.
almost like I Am
What do-
Legend too. It's just kind of like
yeah, it's like
I Am Legend,
so we'll
but instead of-
see.
Instead of CGI zombies, it's just
Just
ladies everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like with a machine gun, just get him out of
It's
here.
like, what is going
They
on?
all want babies.
They want,
So
they want my babies.
it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to. What did it, I keep forgetting? I'm so bad at this. I never look at what
Can't
date it
him
ever
baby
says.
all of them. They all want to get him babied.
Yeah,
don't
so
think
you
I had
guys
it,
check out that graphic novel and check out Saga. They never finished
Sequential
Saga,
art.
but it's really
Yeah,
good.
I never read Saga.
I thought he did
They-
finish Saga.
I-
What did he-
No,
I didn't.
they kind of went on a hiatus and they still haven't.
Well,
like,
his
that was
Swamp
like
Thing
years
run was
ago.
cut very short, but they did come to sort of a conclusion. But I liked that series. It was not about Swamp Thing; it was about his daughter, which I thought was a fun sort of spin on it. But
So cool.
Swamp Thing doesn't get a lot of love in the world. Like he's had a couple
No.
of really popular comic books, and then it seems like they just
Think about poor
can't figure
Man
out what to
Thing.
do with him.
Man Thing gets no love.
Man Thing got written by R.L. Stein in his last series. It's like that's no respect at all, guys. That was just like Man Thing. What was Garbage Man already taken as a name?
Why the Last Man Thing?